Everybody take a seat, please.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. All right. Okay, I want to talk to y'all today about how this is going to.
Can't hear you.
Okay, folks, I want to talk to y'all about how today is going to go. I haven't called us to order yet. As many of you know, I've been speaking with an attorney. I am going to strictly be following the guidance that was given to me from the attorney. And so with that, what we're going to be doing before we come to order, there is no precedence whatsoever for the situation that we find ourselves in. None whatsoever. And the guidance I was given was to allow the body to vote on which agenda we will be pursuing today. So we're not in session. This is just simply a democratic vote. So we'll take a vote on whether we're voting on the agenda that was submitted by Mr. Robert Walker or the agenda that was submitted by Mr. James Byers. So with that, we're going to go ahead and proceed to a vote. This is not Robert's Rules of Order, right? We're not in session. We're just taking a simple vote on how we're going to proceed. So if you are in favor,
Mr. Chairman, you're out of order.
You're out of order.
You're out of order.
You are.
Mr. Chairman, which point of inquiry, which meeting are you here to attend? The meeting call that I sent out, or the meeting call that Mr. Byers sent out?
So what we're doing is we're taking a vote. The body's going to vote to determine which agenda we're going to follow. Okay, that will.
It's not appropriate. We're not
in session.
I understand that, but you do not have rights to officiate a meeting if you're not following the agenda for the meeting that was called for this facility designated.
Let me know when you're done speaking. I'm going to ask you to take a seat.
The person who, you're out of order. Well,
Out of order.
It's a non-binding vote.
it's a non-binding vote then. You can't vote unless you call it to order.
9 o'clock a.m. The meeting call was
Yeah.
for 9. Let's proceed with the meeting.
Okay, all in favor of proceeding?
You're out of order.
Let me know when you're done.
Out of order. Let me know when you're done. Out of order.
I'm Robert Walker. I'm the one who officially petitioned precinct chairs to, and I am calling my meeting to order. So, my meeting is in order. Mr. Chairman, are you going to be presiding over my meeting or not? Because my meeting is over. The meeting that I called is in order. So if you're presiding over it, it was called for 9 o'clock. It's a special meeting. You can't adjust the time, you can't adjust the place, and you can't adjust the agenda.
So there were 2 meetings called.
There was not 2 meetings called. I specifically sent you an email, and you did not respond to it, in regards to Mr. Byers' meeting that he called, and you forwarded on. In Robert's Rules, 8.8:2.1, you can only hold a single meeting at a single place at a single time. It's one gathering.
Here.
So you need to decide which meeting you are presiding over.
So the body's going to vote to adjourn.
No, not called to order yet.
I called my meeting to order, and he's got the opportunity if he's presiding over it or not. I need an answer, yes or no. Are you presiding over my meeting?
So the body's going to vote to determine.
No. Are you presiding over my meeting? If you're not presiding over my meeting, we have business that we have to take
I
care
just
of,
said-
and you're asked to leave.
I
You
just said the
have a
body's
choice. You have a choice. Are you presiding over it or not? My meeting is in order.
Let me be perfectly clear. I can't be two places at one time, right?
You called my meeting first.
I'm speaking, sir. I'm going to ask
You
you.
affirmed it. So this is my meeting. Okay, so which meeting are you presiding over as the chairman?
I'm about to answer your question, and I'm going to ask you to keep quiet until I've answered it.
It's a yes or no.
It's a yes or no answer. That's how I termed it. Yes or no.
I'm not answering your yes or no. I'm going to answer
Okay.
in the fullest.
Then please step outside, because if you're not presiding over this meeting, you don't have permission to be here.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to answer.
Sergeant at Arms,
I appeal
Can you
the
please-
decision of the chair.
We are not in session.
Yes, we are.
It's binding. He says we're in session. You say you're not. You can't call for a vote if you're not in session. Are we
Yeah.
in session? This is not a body if we're not in session.
So this is a vote.
We're not in session. So step
Are
outside.
we in session or not, Mr. Chairman? Are we in session or not?
Mr. Chairman, you've been asked to leave since you're not making a choice as to which. There's business that we have to take care of. So please step outside.
I'm going to make this really clear. All you asked me which.
This is a meeting of all of us. Out of order.
Yes, and I called it. I called it. Maybe you want to. Why don't you? No, you can't call two at once. Go read Robert's rules. Go read Robert's rules. You're out of order. No, I'm not. I called the meeting.
I'm going to appeal second time.
Excuse me, I would like to read Robert's rules. This is chapter 4:8:2:1. A meeting of an assembly is a single official gathering of its members in one room or area to transact business for a length of time during which there is no cessation of proceedings. This is a single meeting. It is insane to think that you can call another meeting on top of it, same location, same time. It is not permissible. And we secured the room, we set it up, he properly called it, and he called it to be an in-person meeting.
And it was approved by the chair.
Additionally, it was approved by the chair. Did everybody receive his email?
Okay, so since Mr. Walker is intent on talking over me consistently, I am going to do the same. Here is what we are voting on.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask you again.
You need to be quiet, Mr. Walker. I am taking a vote from the body which
Appeal to the chair. If you're stepping in as chairman, we're in session, and so you're presiding. Are you presiding or not?
Let's vote.
I'm going to let the body decide.
No, you can't let the body decide. You have to designate whether you're presiding over my meeting or not right now. I call it to order. We're in order. Make a decision, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to answer the way I want to answer. That's the only answer you're getting.
That's not
You don't get to control my voice. Be quiet.
I do when it's my meeting and I called it to order appropriately.
There is no appealing the decision of the chair. We are not in session.
Then we can't vote then.
You can't vote. You can't vote if you're not in session.
Can you come to my house and take a vote if I invite you to take a vote?
No.
Yes, you
You
can.
have to call a meeting. You have to
No,
call
a
a
vote
meeting.
for Brian, not a vote for the body, vote for Brian.
The meeting has been
Can you vote at my birthday party? Yes. What y'all are voting determines which meeting I am physically present at. I'm allowing y'all to do that.
This meeting is a session. You're out of order, Mr. Chairman.
No.
And
We are going to
since-
vote.
Since we do not have,
Which meeting
since the
agenda we are
presiding
voting.
officer,
Take the mic from him.
Sergeant Arms, this is the meeting called by Robert Walker, and you need to remove the. He does not have the operation.
I have the right to be,
You're not the presiding officer here.
If the body
Okay.
decides this is where I'm
Have
happy.
you move over, but you can't have the mic. I have to carry on the meeting. You're not.
I haven't called the meeting to order.
I called the meeting to order because I am the person that called the meeting. And since you're refusing to preside over my meeting by not answering the question, then we have to call the meeting to order because it was supposed to start at 9 o'clock. And so you're dereliction of duty.
Point of order.
Point of order.
You are filling the ruling of the chair for the third time.
We are not.
Let it be noted that you're appealing the ruling of the chair for the third time. We have a second.
We're not in session.
I called the meeting. I called my meeting to order. So
You don't have that option.
I do. I
No,
do.
you don't.
I do. I have all the. Okay. I call for a vote.
You're not the elected chair. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're not in.
Body, according to Robert's Rules 6212, the required three appeals have been made. I'm requesting, I'm suspending the rules. I'm calling for suspension of the rules to take away from him the authority to preside. Second, 69. Second. Sir, you're done. Give us the mic.
I'm the one who. You are not authorized to touch the equipment. I was the one who was the. I am the one who's getting.
Hey, John.
I am the one who is.
John, this is your equipment. Tell me.
This is.
Okay, but is it yours? Is there no they want it back? I'll put it back.
No, it's the facilities equipment, and I'm the representative that secured the facility. Your meeting never.
Are you on behalf of the other? You take the mic away from me.
Yes, on behalf
I
of the
can't
other.
stop you from doing it. So he said basically this. He said, you're free to make your decision. So if they were in two different places, they happen to be in the
Okay.
same place. You simply allow the people. This is a vote that I'm just simply entertaining. It's not a vote to determine which one I show up. And I'll do whichever one I want.
So. The motion on the floor.
So here's the problem. So
Robert's Rules of Order 6212.
Okay. We have this.
The motion that was made by Precinct Chair John Hortz was a motion to suspend the rules and to take away from him the authority to preside during all or part of the given session. When such a motion is made and seconded, after stating the motion, he must turn the chair over to another following the procedure described in 4329. Does everyone understand? He failed to preside over a meeting that he was supposed to preside over. 3 times we followed the rules. We followed the rules. We are in session. I called it in session. I'm the one who called the meeting, not Mr. Chairman.
Sir? Hey, sir, if you got a Robert's Rule, you need to look on the latest on section 12, page C660. Sir, I've got the floor. Please be quiet. You have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, and you can look on section 62, and it's 62.9. right? And it's 6212, right? There's no division.
It's revision 12, that's the latest.
Sir, the body called the meeting, okay? I represent this Robert Walker. He called the meeting on our behalf, the 40 precinct chair called, not the chairman, okay? That's the body, that's the chairman. But the chairman is out of order for trying to take a straw poll when after the meeting has convened. Sorry, that's just the way it works, sir. You can look up Robert's rules and all these rules.
Okay. So we are in session for this meeting. I want to welcome to the emergency meeting of the Montgomery County Republican Party, which was called to complete the approved agenda of the organizational meeting held on July 19th. Yes, we are in session. I called it to order. Decorum. Yes, I can call a meeting to order. When the chairman refuses to preside over the meeting, I can call it to order because it means there's not a chairman in place. He refused to call the meeting. He refused to preside over the meeting that was called. Okay, so we are starting this meeting.
Say a prayer. All right.
We're going to start. We're going to start the meeting. Okay. And we're going to move to.
Would everybody please stop screaming? You sound like a bunch of Democrats, please. Okay, let's bring this meeting to order. Sir, you are screaming, disrupting this meeting. You're not going to frustrate this process so we don't get to our business. Listen, this meeting was called, sir, this meeting was called in accordance with our bylaws. Whether you want to believe or not, you can keep interrupting me and screaming like a Democrat if you like, sir, you can listen. Okay? This meeting was called, Mr. Byers, Mr. Byers, decorum, please, sir. Yeah, I will recognize you. One second, Mr. Reynolds, please. Listen, this meeting was called, whether you believe we're under the old bylaws because we haven't adopted new bylaws or under the old bylaws because we defaulted to them, we're still under the old bylaws. He called the meeting properly. It's an emergency meeting. It doesn't require the chairman to call the meeting. The chairman called the meeting out of order. He called the meeting, he approved his meeting with his agenda first, and then 6 or 7 hours later approved the second meeting, which is out of order in accordance with Robert's rules. He was asked if he was chairing which meeting, and he refused to answer. He wants to take an unofficial vote off the record, which would not be binding under the circumstances.
I did not refuse to answer.
You didn't answer repeatedly. Are you gonna preside over Mr. Walker's meeting?
I'm gonna let the body determine which meeting I show up for.
So we're gonna move on now. We're not gonna frustrate the process again. We're not gonna do this. We're gonna get through the agenda here.
Why are you talking to us? Who are you?
Because you guys are screaming like a bunch of children, Mr. Byers. Thank you.
We're not in session, folks.
We are actually.
We are not in session, folks.
Hey guys,
Ryan can take a vote on
Listen to
himself
me.
anytime he wants to.
as your chaplain,
Excuse me.
I'm going to just step into this craziness. Supposedly, as Republicans, we are supposed to know how to work together. Now, I'm going to let you guys can do what you want. Y'all can argue as much as you want. I don't take sides. But let me tell you what side I'm on. I'm on the side of right, whatever right is. We should be following the rules. We should be doing the right things. We should be, for the lack of a better word, we should not be at war with ourselves. I've been watching this stuff for 5 years. And I'm not going to blame one side or the other because it takes two to tango. There's wrong on both sides and there's right on both sides. A little bit of Solomon's wisdom is what we need today. We're arguing over something that need not be argued about. Literally. So we need to stop. Let's just stop. Every point that this organization needs to talk about is on the list. Let's quit arguing about the list and let's just get into the robust debate about the issues. I mean, I don't care what list you want. I really don't care. But if you're going to spend another 3 hours arguing, I don't think you're going to get what you want. And at the end of the day, I really do not believe that we're building a cohesive, fighting Republican machine to fight against Democrats. Thank you. So I'm going to pray for this group, and then I'm going to let y'all have it. Okay? And I'm going to ask you seriously. I'm going to ask you to reach deep down in your heart. If you believe in Jesus, and most of you in this room would stand up if I and say you did. I do. Okay? Then I'm going to ask everyone in this room to buy into Ephesians 5:1. Ephesians 5:1 is so simple. Be imitators of God and love your fellow man. All right? So today, I'm going to ask you to take that seriously. All right? And let's move on. And I'm going to ask you to be respectful and to stop fighting and bickering. Because I'm going to just tell you, it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to continue to have hard feelings and hard feelings and hard feelings. My recommendation, which means nothing. My recommendation means nothing. I would take what's on the board, run with it, and do your votes and get this baby done. That's my opinion. We quit fighting, but whatever. I have no opinion. I like Solomon. Pick a side and move forward. We're not getting anywhere. We're just beating each other up. All right? Let's pray, guys. Father, we ask that right this minute that, Father, you would calm our hearts, calm our spirits, and teach us to be respectful. Teach us to love our neighbor. Father, if a person that did not know Jesus walked into this room right now, he would turn. And God, if you're not our priority in this room today, if we can't treat each other as brothers and sisters, then I bring into question where we stand with you individually. I'm asking for wisdom from our leadership. I'm asking for leadership from a godly place. So, Father, today, fill this room with your Holy Spirit. Father, we need to do some business. We've got some challenges. We sure do. We have some opinions. But, Father, when this day is over, we're going to have to get up in the morning and say, was that God? So, Father, I'm going to ask right now that you would just touch our hearts. May we live according to your scripture. And, Father, may this ruling today, may this group today, this organizational meeting today, Father, may it be one of order and respect with one common goal, and that's to do the right thing for the citizens of Montgomery County. So, Father, I thank you for loving us, even in the midst of our mistakes, and even in the midst of our hurts, and even in the midst of our conflicts. You carry us forward, oh God. Fill this room, because I am embarrassed. Not only to be a Republican right this minute, but, Father, to be in a room of so-called Christians who want to stab and shoot each other. peace in this room so that we can have robust debate on the issues. And may the majority do like it's supposed to win the arguments. Because that's the way it's supposed to be, according to the rules that we work with. Thank you. In Jesus' name, build this room. Amen.
Gary Reynolds, Precinct 15, in a spirit of unity among the brothers and the sisters. Okay, since we have or have not convened, doesn't matter. I'm going to ask that we all just agree, one, to allow Chairman Chris, as the authority, to move forward with the agenda as proposed by Mr. Walker. Please. And just let's get it done. Okay? We do that out of order. Here we go. It can't, okay, I move that we move forward with this agenda. Mr. Walker.
Just start.
I know what I need as well.
We're in order.
Ladies and gentlemen, pledges to the flags to the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, roll call.
Bear with me. All right, roll call. Y'all paying attention? Gotcha. Because I'm not loud, and I will not yell, unless you're my kids. Barbara Ray, Precinct 1.
She's online.
Precinct, I don't hear her, so I'm not, she's not here. To Precinct 2, Kent Frappier.
Here.
She's online. We can come back.
Precinct 3, Alex Chandel.
Point of order, we are not online.
Precinct 3,
Alex, can you unmute all, please?
Precinct 3, Alex Channel. No? Okay, I can't hear you. You gotta yell. Sorry, I can't. Precinct 4, Nelson Reyes. Precinct. Oh, okay.
We are not on a Zoom line, we're not online at all. This meeting is all, and it's just like that, without any internet.
Okay. Maybe y'all can hear me. There was a email sent from Mr. Walker here to the chairman, 7:08 p.m. That the online meeting instructions email that you sent to the CAC reference that's used for the CAC meetings today is out of order and improper. The original meeting notice dated 7/21/22 at 8:55 a.m. by Robert Walker. Your mic is on. Okay, thank you. The original meeting notice dated 7/21/22 at 8:55 by Robert Walker did not include the notice of an online meeting component, which is required by Robert's Rules 936. Additionally, there's no provision under Article 16 of the MCRP 2020 bylaws to conduct a CAC meeting online, which is supported by Robert's Rules 935. Additionally, a reference to AJ was not contained in Robert's meeting call. A meeting call notice may not be altered or changed by anyone who did not call the meeting. Mr. Walker called the meeting with at least 20% of the CAC precinct chairs signed as signatories as required by the bylaws. Consequently, this is out of order, and Mr. Walker requested immediately recall the email and inform the CAC members that an online format is not an option. Respectfully, Robert Walker, Precinct 87. John Works, 69.
Point of order.
Thank you.
Point of order. State your name.
State your name.
Raquel Lewis, precinct 96. RPT rules, 8J, permit the chairman to call an emergency session, which this is, which allows the chairman to permit online attendance and voting.
That's out of order because you have to follow, even to do that, you have to follow the proper notification processes as laid out in that. Mr. Byers' email did not contain, you have to provide the credentials to log in and the instructions with the notice. Go read the email that I sent to, the chairman is allowed to call any kind of emergency meeting that he wishes. However, he did not call this meeting. This meeting was called by me. And I had the necessary percentage of the CAC members sign on to it, and I called the emergency meeting to resume our business. And it did not contain that, so we cannot do online meetings. It has to contain the instructions in it. It's clear.
Just because you petitioned to call a meeting, does not mean you have the authority to call a meeting. The county chairman.
And the chairman approved it.
The chairman approved it. My meeting was approved, affirmed.
Presiding over this meeting.
Right, and I asked him to preside over this meeting, but Mr. Byers sent out a separate meeting, and then the chairman sent out a convoluted email trying to explain things away that did not contain, it was not properly worded with following all the rules. And so he misinformed the members of the CAC by not following proper protocol. I'm sorry, I can't help it. He was offered to preside over this meeting, and he did not do it. So we have to move on.
Roll call.
We have to finish roll call. You want to read something?
In RPT rules 9B, statutory business, which is, this meeting is covering statutory business. As REC county or district executive committee meetings, a quorum for conduct of statutory business shall consist of those members present.
I'm sorry, what's your name? I don't know.
Precinct 105.
Thank you.
The only statutory meeting of the CEC is the organizational meeting. The organizational meeting was adjourned, and therefore we call other meetings.
Out of order.
You're out of order because it was because no, read this. This is to reconvene to complete. It was not an adjourned sign day meeting. It was adjourned until recessed, until the business of the party could work things out and come back together and have a new meeting and to complete the business. That is, from Mr. Sunderman's motion, that is what Mr. Sunderman's motion is, and that's what this meeting was called to do, is to complete the business of the day. We had an approved agenda, and we need to finish executing that business.
Roll call.
So we're going to complete roll call right now.
I appeal that assertion and ask the secretary to read the minutes of that meeting.
You're not in charge.
Just hold off. We got to finish roll call.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. Call for order of the day to continue the roll call.
Second.
Okay, we're continuing the roll call.
Point of order, please.
roll call, we'll take
Precinct
your point.
5, Precinct 5, Doug Taylor. Precinct 6, Kenneth Ernest.
Here.
Precinct 7, Rapunzel Myers. Precinct 8, Bill, sorry, can't say your last name. Percival? Yep. Precinct 9, Quentin Smith.
Yeah.
Precinct 10, Mark Frank. Precinct 11, I marked that as no, I don't hear you. Precinct 11, Barley Sturpley. Precinct 12, James Metz. Precinct 13, Lori Clifton.
Here.
Precinct 14, Danielle Walters. Precinct 15, Gary Reynolds. Precinct 16, Greg Long. Precinct 17, Del Fesser. Precinct 18, Becky Vance. Precinct 19, Wanda Simmons. Precinct 20, Susan Johnson. Precinct 21, Alan Moore. Precinct 22, Anna Greathouse. Precinct 23, Scott Baker. Precinct 24, James Byers. No. Precinct 25, Wendy Lynch.
James Myers in the hall with Billy Brown.
He needs to say here.
Here.
Precinct 25, Wendy Lynch. Precinct 27, Dell Edmond. Precinct 28, Ken Walling. Precinct 29, Linda Stuckey. Precinct 30, Matt Mitchell, or Kell, sorry. Mitchell, thank you. Precinct 31, Betty Anderson. Precinct 32, Thomas Gardner. Precinct 33, Scott Robbins. Precinct 34, Ken Allen. Oops. Precinct 35, Tammy Kelber. Precinct 36, Paul Crossan. Precinct 37, Kristen Perlance. Liaison, sorry. I'm bad with names. Just gonna say it. Precinct 38, Jeff Philbin. Precinct 39, Brandy Walby. Precinct 40, Josh Graff. Precinct 41, Wayne Long. Precinct 42, Alan Mallard. Precinct 43, Charlotte Berlin. Precinct 44, John Schluter. Schluter. Are you here? In the room? No? Where? Okay, thank you. Precinct 45, Cat Rumble. Precinct 46, Yvonne Lynchy? Precinct 47, Mark Fushka? Gotcha. Precinct 48, Steve Lawrence. Precinct 49, Susan Baranza. Precinct 50, Christina Lightfoot. Precinct 51, Victoria Tompkins. Precinct 52, Wayne Pearson.
We need that to be quiet.
Precinct 53, Chris Crawford. Precinct 55, Sandra Mobley. Precinct 56, Serini Hata. Precinct 57, Terry Saxton. Precinct 58, Lana Hazelett. Hazelett? No?
Shay, what are you doing up there?
Trying to
shut
turn
this
off.
computer down, it's making
Someone up here, she can't hear.
I can't hear, there's too much chatter. Please be quiet on the Zoom call. Precinct 59, Allison Winter.
Just tell Alex to shut it off. That's the best way to do it.
Precinct 60, Judy Thomas.
I told him, tell him to shut it off. It's making noise.
Precinct 61, Donna McAleer. McAleer, thank you. I know you. Oh. Precinct 63, Herschel Williams.
Here.
Precinct 64, Roy Jimenez. Precinct 65, Dale Bible. Precinct 66, Adrian Kaiser.
Present.
Please be quiet on the phone.
Or silence your phone.
Who's rude?
Stacy, just keep going.
The quorum,
Stacy, please just keep going.
the quorum, whoever's computer this is up here needs to come turn it down. It's disrupting the meeting.
I am not being rude, but I can't hear. If you like to come do this job, you're more than welcome.
No.
Precinct 67, Catherine Ross. Precinct 68, Teresa Hogg. Precinct 69, John Warts.
Here.
Precinct 70, Jack Munich. Precinct 71, Catherine Lasetta. Precinct 72, Ann Kate. Precinct 73, Ronnie Trojanowski.
Here.
Thank you. Precinct 74, Ginger Russell. Precinct 75, Larry Rogers. Precinct 76, Dennis Tibbs. Precinct 77, Robert Coates. Precinct 78, Keith Wagner. Precinct 79, Thomas Lancaster. Precinct 81, Susan Shrugs. Precinct 82, Walter Sims. Precinct 83, Patricia Carr. Precinct 84, Mark Pruitt.
Here.
Thank you, Mark. Precinct 85, Tori Bingham.
Here.
Precinct 86, Glenn Spike. Spade. Great, thanks. Precinct 87, Robert Walker.
Here.
Precinct 88, Frederick Sunderman. Fred? No? Precinct 89, Melinda Olin.
Here.
Precinct 90, John Webb. Precinct 91, Annette Carr.
On the quorum. Hannah, please turn that down. It's disturbing.
on it, Robert.
Precinct 91, Annette Carr. Thank you. Precinct 93, Denise Evert. Precinct 95, Tricia Fahrenholm. Precinct 96, Raquel Lewis.
Here.
Precinct 97, Kim Weber.
Here.
Precinct 99, Suzanne Rapatoni. Precinct 100, George Hyde. Precinct 102, DJ Fike. Precinct 105, Charlie Prada. Greta, thank you. Precinct 106, Wesley Doolittle. Precinct 108, Nita Henry.
Here.
Precinct 109, Mark Nedved. Precinct 110, Louis Pataraza.
Here.
Okay.
Quorum is present. Quorum is present.
Yes.
Announce.
I would like to ask,
Quorum is present, sorry.
with the confusion, if we could count, make sure the bodies in here counted match the numbers of the total number of people that you have checked in. Because we were hearing other voices.
Microphone, please.
Standing roll.
Standing room, say it. I just said, that I would like for us to do a count of people in here, that are precinct chairs, voting precinct chairs, and then make sure it matches the count that she has, because there was some confusion.
So if your precinct chair,
So if your precinct chair stand up,
start with the back, start counting. We're up here in the front. Start in the front, count off. One. And then sit, and then sit.
3, 4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10,
11,
12,
13,
14, 15,
16,
17,
19, 20,
21, 22.
23, 26, 27,
28.
29, 30, 31.
32, 33, 34, 35.
Double zero. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41,
42,
43, 44, 45,
46,
47.
48. Good job, Congress, 48? 48. Okay.
the civil process.
We're coming up. Okay, well,
Betty's here.
48 is the number. Oh, Betty was out.
There's one more.
Betty Anderson.
Did Betty Anderson say yes?
Okay, Robert.
We just had two more walk in back here. Were you signed in, Josh and Bob?
Yes.
Did you make roll call initially?
That makes 50 then. Well, I have more than
Sergeant at Arms, please close the door. And
You're in, you're in, you're out, you're out.
you're either in or out. Point of information.
I just want to say that Jeff Dillon asked one of our precinct chairs, asked what the big difference was between the recall spot and the existing, not proposed workshop, existing spot. And it's very compiling a difference, and it's fairly useful about it.
Point of order.
I'm just.
What you're saying is not germane to the business. So what is you're supposed to be asking a question. What is the question? Is it regarding the roll call?
No.
Okay.
Well,
It's out of order.
out of order, yes. Yes. No. In this sense, the reason that I'm not going to, be part of the roll call is because I don't really see why we're fighting over such small differences.
We're trying to.
Yeah.
We have to.
My point is, and I get a lot of phone calls, let's see this. I'm going to go ahead and leave, and then
precinct number.
We need to make sure she's ready, and that's just a good idea.
Okay.
Already got one that was.
Okay, let's start behind us. Let's start at the back.
Okay, we're going to start here at the back and call out your precinct number for roll call.
Stand by.
You ready, Steve? Ready? He's ready. Precinct number? Okay, call out your precinct number.
We're doing,
Roll call.
okay, what's your name?
Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to start with, you need to call out wherever you're at, call out your precinct number, and we're going in order. 1
Good idea.
to the end.
Okay, everybody sit.
So everybody sit, just yell out your precinct number, starting with number 1, and go in numerical order.
No. Who is one?
Margaret Ray.
She's not present, is she?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, then, just yell here. Hey,
Just do roll call again.
Who yelled
who
here?
just said that?
See, that's the point. Just do roll call again.
Stand up.
Well, it's just gonna be
Okay, and we need to,
stupid.
but it needs to be.
Just do roll call again.
Body
That's right. Well, I was in here, do roll call again. That's
So
it.
you stand when your number's called.
Yes! No times you gotta say that.
It's not included, so you can't do it.
Okay.
Shut up, sit down, you two.
Stacy, you come too.
Hey, decorum, folks. Okay, 2.
Present.
3.
3. Alex.
Alan, come on, man.
Come on, man.
4.
Nelson Reyes.
He's not
I don't
here.
think he's here.
5.
Present.
6.
Here.
7. 8. 9.
Here.
10. 11. 12. 13.
Here.
14. 15.
Precinct 15 chairman and elected official, this meeting is an abortion and I'm not gonna be part
Out
of
of order.
Bye-bye.
He's not here. He's leaving.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Take care. Let me get
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
You go, Gary. Gary, I got it for you.
Thank you, son.
16.
Thank you.
17. 18. 19.
18 was here. Did she leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people have already.
Okay, she left. 18 left. 18 left.
10 more minutes, you can do another roll call, and a lot of other people see going.
Point of order. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27.
Here.
28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34.
29 is here.
She's here. 29's here.
29's here.
So 30.
30. 30.
Starting over. 30.
30.
31.
31. Ready? Here.
32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37.
Here.
38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48,
Here.
49,
Here.
50,
Here.
51, 52,
Here.
53,
Here.
55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61,
That's online, that's online.
please turn that down. Turn your volume, you have volume on your computer, you can mute it.
Point of privilege, can that notebook be unplugged and taken to the owner? That's what I'm
Whose notebook is it? I don't wanna touch it.
I'm not touching it. Finish roll call, please.
61, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 69,
Oh, here.
70, 71, 72, 73. Please turn it down. I'm asking for a decorum. Well, if you're going to refuse, you can take your notebook outside, please.
How can they answer here if you can't hear it?
They can.
I just didn't let them know, if you're not recognizing them online, I'll tell them that. and they-
We're not.
It's not. It was not part of
Are
the
you saying that
meeting.
if they're online and saying here, they're not recognized? I'm just.
They're not recognized. They're not
I will
recognized.
let them know.
Point of order,
Keep the roll call.
by what authority are you,
Because the online portion was not in my meeting
Your call.
call. And it has to be in my meeting call, and it has to be done appropriately. You have to, the credentials for doing it have to be done, sent out at 2 days in advance with the initial meeting call. And those were not included on it, so it can't be done. It doesn't matter if he called it or not.
Roll call.
He can't.
Roll call.
So we gotta finish the roll call. Thank you.
what's the
Don't
The
engage.
quorum.
Don't engage.
You're
Roll
out.
call.
73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 81, 82, 83, 84,
Here.
85,
Here.
86,
Here.
87, here. 88, 89, 90, 91, 93, 95, 96, 97, 99, 99, 100, 102, 105, 106, 108, 109, 110, and that's it. We have a
Tom Gardner
We-
here? Is Paul Croson here? No Bible? Any D?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
So-
thank you.
we have a vote count of 50.
That's what I got.
Okay, we have a quorum. Now then, next order of business, because we do not have chairman presiding over this meeting, is we need to call for nominations for a chairman. Nita? Okay. Dale Inman? Are there any other nominations? This is only to chair the meeting to completion. John, I think it should, he's not in here right now. So it has to be somebody who's in here.
I'll nominate Adrian Kaiser.
Okay, Adrian Kaiser. There was a second. Okay, any other nominations?
I have Dale Inman and Adrian, is that right?
Okay, let's call for a vote.
Can you please restate who is running?
Dale Inman and Adrian Kaiser are the two candidates.
Point of inquiry. Would it be possible for those two candidates to step out the room? I was asking if it'd be possible for the two candidates to step out of the room while we take a vote? Okay, maybe they're tough and it won't hurt their feelings.
I agree with that. I don't care either way.
It's your option if you guys are okay being in here. I mean, however. Okay. Is there? All those in favor of Dale Inman as chairman of the
I tell
meeting?
you what, hell, before you start, I am gonna step outside, I'd rather not know. It'd be better, and I just told Raquel that if she senses any impartiality on my behalf, if I'm elected, then to let me know. I will be totally neutral, and if I'm not, Raquel has said she will let me know.
Okay.
But I will work to be, but it'd probably be better if we didn't know.
Okay. So all in favor of Dale Inman, please rise. Oh, sound off. All those standing, just count off, start at 1.
1,
2, 3,
4,
6, 7, 8,
9, 10, 11,
12,
13, 14, 15,
16, 17.
18, 19,
20.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30.
31. 31.
32.
35.
Okay. And you got 30? 32. Okay, all of the nays. Okay.
You're gonna run the meeting? Hey, we're taking a vote right now. Hey, Mr. Sergeant Arms.
Sergeant Arms,
We're taking a
we're
vote
taking,
right now.
we're in the middle of a vote, so he can't come in.
I know. Now, we've been trying to find this place for over an hour.
Oh,
So, hey, I'm sorry.
Well, you can check in though.
You can check in, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, all in favor of Adrian Kaiser, stand up.
Allison, Senate.
Okay, sound off.
1,
3, 4, 5,
6,
6,
That's it, 6. Okay, tally of the vote was 32 in favor of Dale Inman and 6 in favor of Adrian Kaiser. Dale Inman gets it.
I don't know, do we have a parliamentarian? Is Charlie Pareda here?
Charles.
Oh, Charles is parliamentarian, okay. Okay, our next order of business.
Okay, folks, I'm leaving.
Sir, you're out of order.
I'm
You're
leaving.
out of order. Sir, you're out of order.
I just want to let folks know that I will not be recognized. This meeting's been completely out of order. I will not be recognizing anything done in this meeting.
You're out of order.
Okay, next we have, after approval of the agenda, do I have a motion to accept the agenda as noticed?
Sir, it's already been accepted.
Oh, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry, we already approved the agenda. Oath of office, is there here to swear somebody? Swear somebody in? Jay Wright, is Jay Wright here in the building?
He's supposed to be here.
Is there any elected official here?
You are. Yeah, you are. Gwen's here.
I'll give you Dole.
Gwen, is Gwen Withrow here?
Yeah.
Where is she?
Right here.
Gwen, will you want to come up here and swear the new precinct chairs in? Is everyone okay with Gwen, SREC committee woman? Okay. Gwen, basically, it's not a perfect script, just you promise to uphold the laws of Texas, the Arlington Party, Montgomery County bylaws. Allison, are there chairs here to be sworn in?
Everybody, the whole body.
The whole body.
Well, do you want to swear us all, you want to swear all of us in?
Yeah.
Everybody stand. And raise your right hand and repeat after me. I will fulfill the duties required of the Montgomery County Republican Party Precinct Chair. Say yes or no. Yes or no?
Yes.
I will abide by the duties adopted bylaws for the current biennium. Yes. I will abide by the preamble and the 10 principles of the Republican Party of Texas and support each of them.
Yes.
I will only support Republican candidates in the general election.
Yes.
With the agreement to this oath and the confirmation of the County Executive Committee, I pronounce you Precinct Chairman of your respective precincts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gwen. Is the treasurer from the last biennium here available to give a treasury report, Mr. Wertz? Okay, here's the agenda, everyone. So be prepared. We're trying to get through this quickly today. So if you see you've got something to say or do here, be ready so we keep start expediting our time here.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Ginger?
Do we still have a quorum?
Yeah, I believe so. We have 15, and I think I saw, did Raquel Lewis leave?
They all left. May I answer?
Yes.
Point of order.
Since this is considered a statutory meeting,
Hold it. I've got here, Mr. Wright. She was speaking already. I recognize it.
Hold on, let me give you the mic.
For emergency statutory meeting.
since this is a statutory meeting, the quorum, according to RPT, is whoever shows up.
Very good. Mr. Hyde?
Amen.
Very good. Okay,
Do we need another vote count? Like how many people are voting?
not at this point, because now if there's 3 people here, that becomes the quorum.
Okay.
Mr. Wertz?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, as of June 30th, 2022, the date I filed our Ethics Commission report, I reported $54,401.09. Not included on that statement since then has been approximately $326 in income and almost $700 in expense/fees. Some pending, some on the way, bringing us to a balance just over $54,000 in the bank. Mr. Chairman,
Sir?
while I still have the floor, I have something else. No.
Certainly, please.
I'm concluding my report.
Does it help the body?
Yes, sir.
Oh, then, yes, of course.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the Freedom Caucus bylaws. These bylaws, which were failed to be posted on the website per RPT Rule 8E after I submitted them to the chairman and the precinct chairs outside of the 7-day requirement. Again, per RPT 8E requirement is an enhancement, not a rewrite, as the others are.
Mike, John, they can't hear you. You have to go, Mike, they can't hear you back.
Okay, this is in and out.
Hey, step more to the middle. She said sometimes on that.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'm,
Here, use this mic. That's a dead battery, something's going on. Just stand right here.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the Freedom Caucus bylaws. These bylaws, which were failed to be posted on the website per RPT Rule 8E, after I submitted them to the chairman and the precinct chairs outside of 7 days, again per RPT 8E requirement, is an enhancement, not a complete rewrite, as the others are, of the successful bylaws we've lived successfully under the last 4 years.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded.
Second.
The agenda calls for a roll call vote. Madam Secretary, are you prepared to do a roll call vote? And you can appoint an assistant if you need an assistant.
Can you be my assistant? You're so good at it.
I should not be. You saw me at convention.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hyde,
I call for a voice vote.
can we change the agenda in an emergency meeting?
Comment.
No.
As an emergency meeting, it says the agenda cannot be changed. And because it says roll call, I'm not sure we can.
You gotta do roll call.
You cannot.
Yeah, I'm hearing you cannot from over here as well. So, Mr. Hyde, if you have a rule that allows you that, but I do know the rule says an emergency meeting,
I'll read it if I find one.
agenda cannot be. Mr. Wertz?
Can I amend my report here?
Mr. Wertz wants to amend his report.
Okay, we did tweak some of the ones that we submitted. We had handouts in the back there if you didn't get them. Page 1 is highlighted so that you can see what the change is regarding voting, as well as that's Article 3, Section 1, Section 4. And then page 9 is highlighted on vacancies in number 10. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, would the body like to entertain a 3 to 5 minute recess to review those, as there's been some changes to them, as was just announced by Mr. Wertz?
So moved.
Ms. Allison?
So moved.
So moved, okay, yeah, Allison said so moved.
Second.
So we're in a 3 to 5 minute recess. If you need the restroom, please go now. Take your rules with you for some reading material.
Tell them where the restroom. I'm headed restrooms.
So the restrooms are outside the door here, to the double doors down the hall, hook around to the left.
Number 8. Last meeting, we said all votes would be roll call votes, and we agreed on that. It's a continuation of the meeting. That's what
I understand that, but I'm saying after you go roll call. What is it?
roll call vote, not roll call, roll call. All votes have to be by roll call.
So you have a bunch of roll call.
Correct, and that's what we all agreed to in the last meeting. That's what Joe Hyde was saying. There's no mechanism to change from what we already agreed to. In an emergency meeting, correct. In an emergency meeting, you can't do it.
I was trying to expedite.
I get it, but that's what we're looking for, and said you can't. Okay, if you would take your seats, please. If you would, please take your seats. We're calling this meeting back to order. We had a motion and a second to adopt bylaws. Are we prepared for a roll call vote? Well, I said 3 to 5 minutes is about 7 or 8. So we
Hey, well, you did take control to take the bylaws to read them, so.
in 3 to 5 minutes, correct? I said 3 to 5 minutes. But we have to. I would respectfully suggest to the body we have to get business done. We have to get business done. We can't keep doing this. I went to get lunch. I went to get dinner. You know, there's some allowances. We need to get better as a group on getting stuff done.
Opened up, you know?
I can't hear you, Quinn. What?
So the food court might have opened up.
And they can, if that's important to them, this is important to me. If fruit's important to them, they can go to the food court and get fruit. That's not important to me right now. This is important to me. So we have a motion and a second to adopt the bylaws as listed. Freedom Caucus roll call vote. Are you ready for the roll call vote, Ms. Secretary? Here's the microphone.
Several that went in the back.
They go tell them they got to come back. We're not gonna, it's 2022, Mr. Calvin.
You know, most of them are women, you know.
I don't want to go there.
I'm just saying. Being honest.
I'm always a big fan.
You know, if there's a line.
Because it makes it harder for people.
I'm sure you've been to the wood.
It's not that. Okay, begin the roll call vote, please. Precinct 1, I'll do it then if you want. Precinct 1.
Precinct 1.
Precinct 2.
Aye.
Precinct 3. Precinct 4. 5.
Aye.
6.
Yay!
7. 8. 6. 6.
Wait. I got 6, 7.
We got all.
8.
8 is Bill Kirchhoff.
He's right behind you. Are you for or against Mr. Kirchhoff? Aye. 3. 9.
Aye.
10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17.
Yay.
18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. Yeah, okay. 32. 33.
Yes.
34.
Here.
Yay or nay?
Is that a yes or a no? Are we adopting? We're adopting the bylaws. Are you for? Or, yes. 35. 35. 36. 37.
Yes.
38. 39. 40.
Yes.
41. 42. 43. 44.
Yes.
45. 46. 47.
Yes.
48.
Yes.
49.
Yes.
50.
Yes.
51. 52.
Yes.
53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59.
It's a 9.
Yes.
It's a 9.
60. 61. 62. 63.
Yes.
64. 65. 66.
Aye.
67. 68.
Yes.
69.
Yes.
70. 71.
Yes.
72. 73.
Yes.
74.
Yes.
75.
Yes.
76.
Yes.
77.
Yes.
78. 79. 80. 81.
Yes.
82. 83. 84.
Yes.
85.
Yes.
86. 87.
Yes.
88. 89.
Yes.
90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 95. 96. 97.
Yes.
98. 99. 100. 101.
4. Yeah.
102.
All right, we're here at the end of the list.
Yes.
103. 104. 105. 106. 107. 108,
Yes.
109, 110,
Yes.
111? Yeah, yes, Madam Ellison.
I technically need to remove my vote because I walked in after it already started. It
Fair.
is not permissible.
Same here.
Ms. McAleer and Ms. Allison said that they came in after the vote began, so technically they should remove their vote.
But she didn't vote.
She didn't vote.
Oh, she didn't vote. Okay, well then just Allison only.
Yeah. Allison, what are you again? 59.
Yeah.
Ms. Lucetta?
I walked in after.
Ms. Lucetta said she came in after the vote began also.
I don't think she was. 73.
Yeah, 73, I think.
I'm 71.
71, I'm sorry. Does anyone know where the microphone is?
I'm still stuck in.
What?
Just one after that.
Okay. Hey, if you have a motion, if you would please come up to a microphone. We can't record this. You can't get the volume. You get so if you have a motion or something to say, if you would please, for the body at large, if you would please use the microphone. Thank you. So look, we're going to wait for the count total to see if those passed. I believe they probably did, but I'll wait for the secretary's report if they passed.
Point of information, can we give a vote total?
That's what we're working on right now. Yeah, I just said, could we get a report? Yeah.
We have 37 yeses.
37 yeses. As we have a already obvious quorum, 37 passes. The bylaws are passed. Should roll again. We've accepted new bylaws. Getting stuff done. Election of officers, including other members of the steering committee, as well as vacancy and victory committee chairs, and we'll do this by secret ballot. Do we have, I wonder if our secret ballot snuck away. We do have some secret ballots? Wonderful. Well, I would entertain a motion to open up nominations for officers. Is there anyone who would like to?
We're going to go down the list, start with vice chair.
Yeah, why don't you?
Yeah, but I'll take a motion if we want to start then.
Let's go in order.
So we want to go vice chair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any nominations for chairman? I'm sorry, I mean vice chairman. Mr. Wersch, you recognize?
Mr. Chairman, I nominate John Boucher.
It's been nominated by John, Mr. Wersch has nominated John Boucher. Lots of seconds are not needed, but boy, they are appreciated.
If y'all don't use this, I can't record, so please come to here right today.
Mr. Grant, I will encourage, I mentioned that, I will mention that more, I will mention it again. Chairman, if we could get a, yes, sir, Mr.
Mr.
Wersch.
Chairman, I'd like to nominate John Boucher for vice chair.
John Boucher has been nominated for vice chair. Sergeant at Arms, will you please seal the door? He's trying to get out. Nail the door closed. Or nail him to it. Okay, we have one nomination for John Boucher to be vice chair. Mr. Boucher, would you accept that nomination?
I will serve.
He will serve if asked. We've got, say anything?
You got to ask any other nomination.
I was looking. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations?
No.
Any other nominations? Asking 3 times without any other ado. Mr. Vice Chairman, you are, I guess, Vice Chairman.
Did he take over?
Yeah, Mr. Vice Chairman, would you like the microphone? I'd be happy to have, with the body's approval.
We have to have a vote of acclamation. It is just we have to vote on it.
Yeah.
It's a vote by acclamation still nonetheless.
We should vote.
It is an honor to be with you.
Let's vote.
To take over?
No, I'm not taking
No,
it.
no.
The
Yeah.
vice chair, then he can take it.
Yeah, so we're going to do a roll call vote on Mr. Boucher.
Well, let's, point of order.
Okay, yeah, we can do by acclamation.
We can do acclamation or voice vote.
Voice vote, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there any opposed?
Nay.
You don't get a vote.
He doesn't get a vote, so 0 nays.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I believe we adopted a resolution that said that all votes have to be by roll call. I believe that could be circumvented by suspending the rules and changing the rules to allow for a voice vote. I'm not trying to lengthen the meeting. I'm just trying to make sure what we do is done.
I've had 2 members, Mr. Hyde and Mr. Coates, both suggest that.
No other nominees, though.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea if we do voice votes.
Cover.
So let's do a vote. Are we all good with voice votes?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. I want the body. I had the body's permission. Okay, and so then Mr. Boucher is vice chair. Mr. Robert Walker.
Point of information.
Microphone.
Mike.
Microphone.
I believe that the point of inquiry, I believe that the only roll call votes for voting was on item number, anything related to item number 8 was roll call vote, not.
Okay, thank you.
Not, is that
Perfect.
correct?
Yeah, perfect. So we're taking voice votes, and then the option was to have Mr. Boucher take over chairing the remainder of the meeting.
Yeah, make it.
You need to.
Okay, Mr. Boucher's declined, so we'll continue. Mrs. Fight? Microphone. Hey, if you have a point, start walking towards the microphone before you're called on, if you would, because that'll help expedite.
Point of inquiry.
Point of inquiry.
Parliamentary procedure. Remember what
Your point is?
Thinking.
Okay, let's keep going then. So vice chair, do we need a treasurer? Okay, hold it. Ms. Spike has it. You remember now.
Since we have just approved our bylaws, are we now operating under those bylaws?
Correct, I believe so.
Yes.
Okay.
They take effect immediately upon adoption.
So it should tell us how to vote.
Is the next one in the order? I don't have those with me. Is the next order secretary? Is there a nomination for secretary?
We can't change the agenda, it says by secret ballot that we have to do each election officer.
Yeah, that's a good point. Point of order, Ms. Allison.
I believe that's only in the case of if there's only more than one nominee.
Yeah, I think if there's only one, you can do it by acclamation. That's correct. If there's two, we have to do it by secret ballot. Mr. Kaiser, is that what you were going to say, Mr. Kaiser? Okay.
Secretary.
I nominate Stacy Ernst for secretary.
Stacy Ernst has been nominated.
I'm sorry.
There are lots of seconds. All in favor? Is there any other nominations for secretary? Any other nominations for secretary? Any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, by body acclamation, who said Stacy Ernst, you lose. You win. You win. We would like a treasurer nomination. The chair would entertain a nomination for treasurer.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Wirtz, you're recognized.
Thank you. I'd like to nominate Charles Shirley, Assistant Treasurer. Second.
Charles Shirley is treasurer. Mr. Wirtz has nominated Mr. Shirley as treasurer. Mr. Shirley, would you stand up? I don't know if everyone knows you. I think everyone does. And you know if we have any other nominations, that then will require a secret ballot, which will take plenty of time. Yes, sir, Mr.
Larry,
Sure.
Mr. Wirtz, did you just nominate someone other than yourself as treasurer?
I did. I'm termed out. Thank
Will you accept the nomination if I nominate you?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Okay, so Mr. Shirley's been nominated. Any other nominations for treasurer? Any other nominations for treasurer? Any other nominations for treasurer? Seeing and hearing none, by acclamation, void of acclamation from the body, Mr. Shirley, you are the treasurer. Do we need to put a parliamentarian? I know that's not really technically an officer, but do we have a parliamentarian? Do we have anyone, not at this point? Yeah, they're appointed, so we'll just hold off. So what's the next one on the list? We've got vice chair, treasurer, secretary.
Well, so we've got the 5 executive committee members.
So now for this, what was known as the steering committee, there's 5 positions available for steering committee. So position 1, I'm sorry, Mr. Professor, you're second. I did see your hand first. Remember, if you have something to say, you want to start walking towards the mic.
I nominate Robert Walker.
For position 1, Robert Walker has been nominated for position 1. There's 5 positions. Position 1 has been nominated Robert Walker. Mr. President.
I nominate Quentin Smith.
Quentin Smith has been nominated for position 1. Ms. Henry.
No.
We're doing one at a time. Remember, we're doing one at a time, so we're doing person 1 right now. We're not taking all 5 right now. We're doing one at a time, if that's okay. Yes, microphone. You have to go to the microphone. Has to be at the microphone. Hey, folks, very lovingly, with a lot of respect, if I don't see you at the microphone, I'm not going to recognize you. Because it's just too hard for everyone to hear, and it keeps bogging down.
Point of inquiry?
Microphone. If you have a point of inquiry, if you have an interrupting motion or a point of inquiry, step to the front of the microphone. Don't get in the back of the line. If you have something that needs to interrupt, and then interrupt. Sir?
Point of inquiry. were the two nominations that have come out so far, were those for a single position or were those for two separate positions?
I would like them to be for 2 seconds, but I don't get to decide that.
Well,
But that's why I said for, that's why I said for position 1 is what we're doing right now.
Can you ask the two people that nominated to clarify their nomination?
That's what I'm going to get to. Mr. President? Yes, sir. Mr. Walker, we will. Let me see what Mr. President says. Mr. President?
I'm going to ask for ruling of the chair. Are we nominating for one position only or for all 5?
There's 5 spots. We'll call them, here's an idea. Let's call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're only looking for position 1 at this time. Positions 2, 3, 4, the other 4 will come after this vote.
Then I would like to withdraw the nomination of Quentin Smith for position 1.
Mr. Fesseden's nomination has been withdrawn. So if the chair is correct, Ms. Nita?
I have a point of order.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe that we were going to nominate all those officers, all the steering committee at one time, and then by secret ballot, we write the 5 names down, and those are counted. Is that not?
Okay, I'm seeing that a set of bylaws here, some appointed bylaws. Do we have our parliamentarian, do you agree with that, what Ms. Nita Henry's saying? Well, what I'm hearing to the body is we're accepting 5 names. Well, we're accepting unlimited names, yeah, unlimited names. And then the body will write down 5 names individual that you want.
By secret ballot.
By secret ballot. And I'm hearing that the rules say that. If I could get a determination from
Article 5, Section C.
Article 5, Section C says
that we
can nominate
people, and then we vote by secret ballot.
as many people as we want, and then by secret ballot, we only pick 5.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that from the parliamentarian, so I defer to the parliamentarian. So we're taking all nominations then. And does someone have, Madam Secretary, do you need an assistant with somebody writing these names down? Do you need an assistant to help with this?
Should we use the board over here?
Sure. Who's got their dry erase marker with them? I think we have a dry erase board. You guys may not know this. I know we put men on the moon, but did you know that a dry erase marker, a board, is one of the most remarkable inventions ever made? It's remarkable. You can mark on it, erase it, mark it again. It's remarkable. I apologize. It's remarkable. Okay, I'm sorry. So far we have Mr. Robert Walker has been nominated. Mr. President, I apologize. I was wrong earlier. I apologize, sir. Your nomination?
No apology necessary. I resubmit the nomination of Quentin Smith.
Quentin Smith has been nominated. Mr. Smith, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
I always like to ask for that, just in case we do so, and then someone says, I don't want to do it.
I would like to nominate DJ Fight.
DJ Fight has been nominated. Ms. Fight, do you accept the nomination?
I would nominate Kenneth Ernest.
DJ Fight has nominated Kenneth Ernest. Mr. Ernest, do you accept?
I will serve.
He will serve. Is that Parabellum? Sir?
I nominate George Hyde.
Mr. Hyde has been nominated. How many names is that?
5.
Sorry. We have 5 names. Are there any other nominations for steering committee? Any other nominations for steering committee? Any other nominations for steering committee? Hearing none? Well, we need to do a secret ballot. Is there only 5? I think we do that by acclamation now. There's only 5 of them.
Are there no others?
There's 5 and no others, and I called 3 times and no one said anything. So nominations are closed. Would someone make a motion to accept by acclamation the 5 names for the 5 positions that have been nominated? See, I'm sorry, sir, state your name, please.
Doug Taylor, Precinct 5.
Doug Taylor, Precinct 5. Mr. President is seconded. Ms. Ginger, is that what you were going to do? Yeah. I know, thank you for going to the microphone. That's why if you don't, for that stuff, I'll call it out so the secretary can keep records. Okay, it's been first and seconded. You can't read sarcasm in eyes. But in that being said, by acclamation, all in favor of these 5 for steering committee, please say aye. Aye. Is there any opposed? Hearing none, these 5, let's give them a round of applause. And I would encourage also, Mr. Hunt, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. You were, yes, you would accept, right? I asked everyone but you. I just came to my mind. I didn't ask you.
I realize I'm not here.
You're here to serve? Yeah.
I'll be able to tell my wife that you didn't give me the chance.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You are right. That's on film too. Hey, I would encourage, moving forward, we're very respectfully to the body that's here. We've got other parts of the body. We need to support whomever whatever, as we move forward. We've got 107 days from today. What happens 107 days from today? Election. All our energies need to be focused on that right now. That we need to get through this, and we will now, and then just keep moving forward and support these 5 people. It's a lot of work they put in. So thank you, George. The chair would like to personally thank each of those that accepted those positions. Thank you very much. So we've got our new business.
Vacancy and victory committee.
Oh, vacancy. I'm sorry. Yeah, vacancy and victory committees. The chair would accept a motion for a chairman vacancy. Let's go vacancy. I think it's on the board first, if I remember. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to nominate Allison Winter for.
Allison Winter.
Second.
Who are you?
Not just me. Teresa Hay. Thank you.
Teresa Haig has nominated Allison Winter for vacancy committee. It's been seconded. Ms. Winter, do you accept?
Yes.
Ms. Winter has accepted. It's been seconded. By Herschel? Any other nominations for vacancy? Any other nominations for vacancy? Any other nominations for vacancy? Hearing none, by acclamation, all in favor of Ms. Allison for vacancy, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none? Very well, thank you. The chair would entertain a motion for Victory Committee Chair. Mr. Ernest.
Yes, I nominate John Wertz for Victory Committee.
John Wertz has been nominated for Victory. It's been seconded by Ms. Weber. Are there any other nominations to chair Victory Committee? Hey, folks, I said a moment ago supporting those 5. In the next 107 days, he's going to need a lot of support. May I have like 30 seconds? A couple years ago, I was Victory Chair. We had the same problem that we had today. There were elements working against me. We're going to have to support Mr. Wertz. I know you're thinking that's insane. We have people specifically working against us getting our people elected. Yeah. So be aware of that. And I got a feeling it'll be worse this time, Mr. Wertz, than it was 2 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever that was.
Thick skin.
Yeah. So let's support all of these people and also vacancy and victory. And folks, I hope everyone knows, everyone in here, these folks are great people. They'll happy to take your call. You got a question, they'll take your call, answer to the best of their ability. We got to stay really close and tight knit. I'd like all 111 of us to, and that would be the goal. But in any event, let's support them as best we can.
Still going to take a vote.
So, I'm sorry, take a vote. So Mr. Wertz has been nominated. I've heard no others, so we're going to a vote. All in favor of Mr. Wertz for Victory Committee, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Quentin Smith is an A. He said nay. After that speech of him supporting him too.
You're going to pay me outside, right?
So in any event, it's 35-1, I think, as he passes. So Mr. Wertz, thank you very much. Ma'am? Yes, ma'am? If you could, please.
Although I do have a loud mouth. I bet everybody.
Well, it's for the recording also. They can't pick up the...
I just wanted to make sure that when Mr. Wertz was nominated, did you say 3 times asking?
I believe I did.
for
I'm hearing,
other-
I see several people do, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Sure. Okay, so that concludes item 9, I believe. Item 10 is new business. Does the body have any new business to discuss?
Yeah.
I'm
hearing yes.
That's for the bylaw.
Yes, I have some business to discuss. Would y'all finish passing these out, going back this way? Thank you.
Sure. Miss Winter, our vacancy chair is needs just a minute to get some paperwork available to the body.
Okay, thank you. I would like to discuss something that needs to be handled during the roll call. Ann Kate was called, and Ann Kate resigned in June. But our chairman, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Our chairman failed to recognize it. I have her email right here that I was copied on along with our past secretary, Robert Lewis, and I can read it to you. She said, "Please accept my resignation as Precinct 72 Chairman. After 8 years as chairman, I feel it is time for me to let someone else be in charge of my wonderful, heavily Republican precinct. I hope to become involved in something other than politics, but will continue to support the Republican Party in other ways. I would like to recommend Gwen Withrow to replace me as chairman of Precinct 72. Gwen and her husband recently moved to Bentwater in Precinct 72, but she has been active in Republican politics for many years and in many capacities. She is currently the SD4 SREC representative. Good luck to the CEC in the coming 2 years. I hope some real work will get done for the party. She sent this on June 7th, and as I said, our chairman said that he could not accept it because it wasn't quite the new biennium. But, so I would like to officially, I think we probably need to take a vote that she has resigned, because according to Robert's rules, it's to be accepted immediately when someone resigns. And I can read that reference, it is reference 32:8, Robert's Rules in order. 72. Okay.
So the information we have is that back in June, Ms. Ann Kay from Precinct 72, Bentwater area, sent her resignation in. For some reason, the chair did not accept it. The body has accepted it. It is official. You know, the rules say that when they resign, they resign. And she has nominated Ms. Withrow. Ms. Withrow, I see you over there. Could you stand up, please? Also, our SREC 4 committee woman. I would like to read part-time together with the highly coveted Bentwater community. Those Bentwater people. But at any event, thank you. And Ms. Withrow, okay, I'm sorry. We'll continue this with letters.
Okay, thank you. So do we need to make a vote on that, or it's supposed to be accepted immediately? No, I'm speaking of the resignation.
Well, you can make a motion to accept her resignation if you want. If we want to just, no, she resigned, It says effective immediately.
She resigned.
The rules say effective.
Right, and that was her intention, and she'd been communicating with Gwen all along, asking Gwen to take her place, sending Gwen the workshop information for the bylaws and all the information, even the Freedom Caucus bylaws were sent to her. So that was her intention. Okay, so for the vacancy report, I would like to give that. We have 13 vacancies. I'll read them out if anybody wants to write them down.
Yes. Oh, wait, yeah.
Okay. Everybody almost ready. I'll give you another minute. Okay. Precinct 26. Precinct 54. 62. 72. 80. 92. 94. 98. 101. 103. 104. 107. And 111. Does anybody need me to repeat it? Okay. So we have, excuse me.
Point of information. Why does the Montgomery County website list of precinct chairs and the list of vacancies? It says certain precincts are vacant, but when you go into the precinct chair portal, there's a Google sheet where the list of precinct chairs does not match. It only shows that there's only like 5 or 6 vacancies and they don't match.
That's a clerical.
Okay.
Okay, I believe that Raquel, who's been managing the website, is not up to date. That was last biennium's vacancies.
Okay.
So it's all new. It's new biennium.
I'm just clarifying.
Point of information.
Yes.
So, just the bylaws that we just passed, and we talked about this. If you don't mind, let me just read it, how this is supposed, I'll be quick, how this is supposed to be done. So any vacancy in the office of precinct chairman shall be filled by appointment of the CAC. The eligible person must comply with Article 3, Section 2, and selected to fill the vacancy must be vetted by the vacancy subcommittee
And with the exception of the organizational meeting only, with the exception of the organizational meeting only where a previously seated chair is qualified to be renominated and appointed and disposed of during new business before adjournment, and all must receive a majority vote of those committee members. Now, my understanding, Mr. Chair, is that the body needs to make the recommendation to the vacancy committee. Then the vacancy committee is supposed to come right back to the body, make the recommendation, and then vote again. If that's how I read the new bylaws.
Ms. Winter, would you want to respond to that?
I defer to the parliamentarian.
What section was that?
It's in Roman numeral 3, membership.
The new bylaws we just adopted, we got to review them real quick if we're not so far.
Section 4.
Well, that's, okay.
Just don't want any questions later.
Okay, well, I think that you're jumping ahead a bit, I believe, because we do have 5 people that I was going to mention who previously served in the last biennium.
Agreed.
They're going to file for their precincts, and they are vacant, and so today we're going to consider those 5 precinct chairs who previously served and are willing to continue serving this biennium. And then additionally, there's Gwen, because of this vacancy that came up, and Ann Kate named her as wanting her to fill her seat. So does everyone agree with that? Okay, so I'm going to call these 5 people for it. I mean, well, actually, some are gone today. Some were here Tuesday, but they left town or couldn't come today. But I'd like to call Gwen Ford and Stephanie Cox. And let's see. I believe that's all that's here. Is there anyone else? Okay. So, on those sheets that I've passed out to y'all, those half sheets, they have the 6 candidates' information, if y'all want to read about their qualifications, and I vetted all of them, and they all voted in the 2022 Republican primary. So I would like to consider Stephanie Cox, who served last time, and your precinct is 98, correct? And then Gwen Withrow is precinct 72, as we said before. Mara Wassers, precinct 92, and she was unable to be here today. Mary Lewis had another commitment and could not come today too. It's hard with the emergency meeting. And Thomas Bartley flew out of town on Wednesday morning. He was here Tuesday night, and Diane Campbell was on a trip also. But all of these candidates, like I said, have gone through vacancy last biennium, and they were vetted and interviewed and appointed by the last CAC. So I would like to just ask for a vote, and I'll let the chair take it from here.
Mr. Wertz, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I recommend that we accept these applicants by acclamation, these nominees.
It's been first and seconded by acclamation. There's no one else been nominated or suggested to the body. So by acclamation, does either of the, both of y'all obviously accept? Would either of you like to say anything to the group? Okay, we all know them. They're great people, so by acclamation, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none? Welcome, or my condolences.
Chairman, who's going to swear them in? Give them the oath of office.
We can swear them in right now.
We can.
Allison, do you want to swear them in?
Well, yes, but I want.
Okay, who does it?
Okay.
Do you have your little sheet? Do you have your sheet? I promise to give the chair $10 a week. Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name. Then you just say yes. Do you solemnly swear to uphold the laws of the state of Texas?
Yes.
The bylaws of our local party, the bylaws of the RPT?
Yes.
Do you swear that you will support Republican candidates?
Yes.
and never support a Democrat candidate? So help me God? By the old gods and the new gods? I'm sorry. Okay, well, here you're sworn in, and here's Allison has something more official to say.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to give the conclusion of the report. Thank y'all.
Hey, welcome them. You're sworn in.
Okay, so that leaves, after these 6 people were appointed, we have 7 vacancies. So this is the new vacancy numbers, everyone. 26. We have a lot of interested people that like to know what the vacancies are. 26, 54, 62, 80, 101, 107, and 111. So that's 7 vacancies remaining. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Allison does a great job for the vacancies. Is there any other new business? Mr. Wards, I think you're... Is there any other new business to present to the body? Does anyone have new business? Mr. Wards, if you would please, the microphone.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. I'd like to recognize Calvin Russell as our Sergeant at Arms. Charles Shirley is our parliamentarian. And last but certainly not least, she's rolling her eyes, Stacy Ernest.
Yes, thank them so much for their being here today. Thank you, Carlos, Stacy. Very difficult job today, and they got thick skin. So we thank you very much for all you've done. You put in some tough spots today. Ms. Ginger.
I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn.
Is the agenda complete?
Second.
I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
Does the body agree that the agenda is finished? Is that in order? The chair, I do believe that is in order. Mr. Robbins has something? He's seconding it, I see. We got a second, we got a third. Seeing all in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. We stand adjourned.